Hey folks, Doc here. It's kind of chilly out here, so I don't think I'm going to hang around long outside anyways. I've spent most of my time inside the shop. Go figure. I've actually gotten to spend a good amount of time inside the shop this week, as you probably noticed looking on the Sprocket's Garage Facebook page, some of the stuff that I did to Commando. And I decided at some point this afternoon that I was going to drag Guerrilla into the shop and have a look. Try and figure out what I'm up against, because I'm up against a lot on that build. That's going to be quite the interesting challenge, getting that sucker transplanted. So, why don't we go inside the shop and have a look at what I have gotten accomplished so far, which isn't much, but it's a look. Let's look. And there's Guerrilla. Have I done much to it? No, not much at all. The first thing you'll notice, though, looking at Guerrilla, is that lower grill corner is present when it was not before. Neat, huh? Yep, looks much better now. Those of you that follow along on the Sprocket's Garage Facebook page are no doubt aware that a couple of weeks ago I put out a feeler saying, listen, I really want a lower grill corner for this thing. And, you know, if anybody can help me out, you know, by selling me one for a halfway reasonable price, that would be appreciated. And a lot of people did the usual, you know, check Craigslist, check Kijiji. Well, yeah, but first off, you know, they're rare as hell around here. And secondly, people think the damn things are made of gold. And it's easy to understand why. I mean, a lot of guys got these old tractors which are, frankly, you know, nearly as old as I am, and, you know, as soon as you go to put on, what is it, the snowblower attachment or whatever, you take that grill corner off to clear the belt, and it never gets put back on the tractor again. So, you know, 40 years later, a guy like me buys this tractor, that grill corner is gone, and, you know, they're hard to find. Anyways, I put out a feeler saying, hey, if anybody can hook me up, I'd sure appreciate it, and two guys hooked me up. And, you know, they both, you know, went above and beyond the call of duty to, you know, find it, unbolt it, whatever, and get a shipping quote for me and, you know, provide me with a reasonable price. And they were both so reasonable that I bought them both. So you saw the one that I already installed on the tractor, and I got this other one here. So why do I have another one? Well, you know, I do that sort of thing. First off, you know, you never know when breakage is going to happen, and it'd be awfully nice to have a spare part that nobody can find anywhere for a reasonable price. Secondly, somebody else could come along in the future, don't ask right now, and say to me, listen, Doc, does anybody know where I can get one of these damn things, because you can't find one? And I could say, hey, I've got one on my shelf sitting there collecting dust, you know, give me $4,000 and it's yours. Anyways, long story short is both prices were reasonable, both shipping quotes were reasonable. So I just said yes to both, because I thought, well, what the heck, you know, they're both playing ball with me, they're both being nice, I'm going to put some money in their pocket and make it happen. So, to Trevor Hensley, and your sister and your dad for helping out, I'd like to thank you very much. And to Kevin Issam, boy, I hope I didn't, you know, mess your last name up, looked like that to me. If I messed it up, I apologize. So Kevin and Trevor, thank you very much for hooking me up and hooking Guerrilla up. And good to go. That valuable piece of Guerrilla's lower grill is no longer missing, because frankly that would have driven me absolutely insane looking at that like that. So guys, thank you both. So yeah, okay, it takes all of 2 minutes to bolt that grill corner on. And well, I did a little bit more than that. And let's find out what I did that was a little bit more than that. Not a lot more than that, to be fair, but a little bit more than that. Oh, would you look at that. Isn't that pretty? That's right, folks. There she sits. That's your Kubota Z400 sitting in the engine bay of Suburban Guerrilla. Now, it's only in mock-up. I haven't done a thing to it, really, other than to cut a big hole in the original engine mounting plate of the Sears and literally drop the damn thing in just to see what fitment's going to be like. So I have not yet made up engine mounts. You can see that the flywheel's still off, and I'm going to have, you know, to create some sort of clearance thing there. I'm trying to get the engine to sit as low as possible. So far I've got a lot of room under the hood, and if I have to bring that up a little bit to clear the flywheel, so be it. I might have to put an idler pulley or something in there and do a little bit of rearranging for the belt to clear the starter. This original mounting gear that's right there is going to go bye-bye, so it'll get cut off. That's not a big deal. Looking from the top, you can kind of see where the clutch pulley is, which is just over here, in relation to where the flywheel is. And I suspect that the pulleys on the flywheel are going to be a little bit too far to, well, what is effectively the right, to line up properly. So I might have to shift the engine a little bit to the left, which is going to take some more cutting and grinding. Sorry, Steve. But we're going to make it happen. I took the turbocharger off for now because I'm again going to have to reconfigure that pipe going to the turbo and figure all that out. With the hood closed, you know, you can see that the pipe should be low enough to clear the turbo. I'm just not sure about the charge pipe going to the engine and all that stuff, so I'm going to have to do some serious playing around. This bracket with the fuel filter is going to go bye-byes. It wasn't in my way enough right now to take it off right now. As you can see, the block's sitting a little bit funny. There's something in there that's not letting it sit right, and I think it's the two little studs that that engage whatever, you know, mule drive or implement that you jam in the front there, and I think the oil pan's kind of hitting those. So I'm going to have to do a little clearancing there too. But either way, see if I can get under there with sufficient light. Maybe, maybe not. Let me grab my trouble light. Either way, you can see at this moment, I've got a fair amount of clearance under the hood. From the oil fill to the hood surface looks to be about 4.5 inches. I've got about the same to the alternator, which is good. I've got a little bit of room in the front, which is good. I've got a little bit of room in the rear, which is good. So basically, it's just going to come down to, you know, getting the engine to sit correctly left to right for the pulley to line up, and fab up the engine mounts and all that stuff, and then from there it's all, you know, back to concentrating on the turbocharger and all that stuff. So I'm really pleased with the way this thing is going to fit, and you know, I think it's going to be doable. Again, the lighting is a little wonky in here, and I apologize for that, but as you can see, we've got some clearance. The only issue I see is if I jockey the engine. Can you see that? If I jockey the engine any more than about an inch or so to the left, I might have a problem with the alternator pulley interfering with the edge of the hood there. If that happens, well, damn it, I don't know what to tell you. I might have to clearance the hood a little bit. Don't really want to, but we do what we do, right? But that being said, things are fitting up fairly nicely by the looks of things. I think I can work with that. So yeah, short and sweet, that's where Guerrilla's at right now. I know there hasn't been a lot of progress, but then again, I've been busy with Commando and, you know, futzing about, and, you know, every second weekend I'm doing something with the kids, and that, you know, often involves shop time and kind of puts me off doing other projects. But we'll get there, and I figured that step one, you know, absolute step one was drop the damn engine into the engine bay and see what the heck I'm really up against, because up until this point it was just simply conjecture and all I could do was guess. Now I can actually measure, which is a hell of a lot better than guessing. So short and sweet, that's where she's at right now. Stay tuned. Thank you for tuning into Sprocket's Garage on YouTube and sharing and subscribing. We're almost up to 3,000 subscribers. Guys, that's amazing. I know that's not a huge number to some of you. To me, that is a huge number because I certainly didn't imagine anything like this happening. So, thank you to all of you. And once again, I'd just like to remind you to check out Sprocket's Garage on Facebook and to feed your adhesive addiction at sulphurcitydesign.com to get your dock stickers and sweaters and t-shirts and all that sort of goodness. And until next time, take care of yourself.